Right. So today, there we go. So today we're taking a look at something what I call a funny folder, which is this. Now, this folder is containing all sorts of bits and bobs that I consider funny, and today we are going to take a look at them. That's why the video is going to be a bit long. Right, before I start one of these, I would like everybody to warm up their brains and start thinking. There's a good one exercise. I'm glazing in balconies with aluminium. Right. This is from newspapers. This is what people write in a post section. Window washing in summer months from December to January. Of course, I understand December and January are summer months, of course. There's a good one. Planting cucumbers, watering cucumbers, growing cucumbers, collecting cucumbers. I dislike cucumbers. This is a bit for the warm-up, but now this is one of the funny stuff still from the newspapers. This is from an autopsy report. A woman was found after 12 months of being dead in her flat. And this is what I write. Status of the body. Active. Have you ever seen somebody who was dead 12 months active? A skeleton running. I'm exercising. Oh, hello, I'm a skeleton. I'm exercising. Hell yeah. This is from a 5-star hotel in Germany. No unemployed children under 6 years old are allowed to use this elevator alone. And they say slavery was abolished. I don't see where. And this is a clear definition of what happens when you give a normal person a test that doesn't make any sense at all. Now, here I have a test, actual test. And this is some of the questions. Here it says, 3 tests. Answer these questions as accurately as possible. Number 1, and actually it's wrong, because Napoleon did not die in a battle, he died on an island. But since it's an American test, they do not know it. Which battle did Napoleon die in? His last one. Where was the Declaration of Independence signed? On the bottom of the page. I really like that answer. River Ravi, I have no idea what the River Ravi is. Flows in which state? Liquid state. What's the main reason for divorce? Marriage. What's the main reason for exams? Failure. What can you never eat for breakfast? Lunch and dinner. You know, this guy was really, really clever and really, really imaginative. What looks like half an apple? The other half of an apple. If you threw a red stone into a blue sea, what will it become? Simply a wet stone. How can a man go 8 days without sleeping? Easy. Sleep at night. How can you lift an elephant with one hand? Now, this is a test for who? If I understood if it was for Asians, all Asians would be working out a formula or something, or some sort of a rule. But this is an American test. They do not know that. You can never lift an elephant that has a hand, simply because there's no elephant that has a hand, that has a paw. If you had 3 apples and 4 oranges, this is my personal favorite. If you had 3 apples and 4 oranges in one hand, and 3 apples and 4 oranges in another hand, 3 apples and 4 oranges in one hand, you must have like trays instead of hands, like massive trays. What do you have? Very large hands. This is also a good one. It took 8 men 10 hours to build the brick wall. How many hours will it take 4 men to build it? No time at all. The wall was already built. How this is really stupid. This one, number 13. How can you drop a raw egg onto a concrete floor without cracking it? Any way you want, because the concrete floors are very hard to crack. Right. And this is from a newspaper that my grandpa has given to me. This is from Miami. What once was going on there. This can only happen in Miami. You know, I'm pretty proud of people of the state of Florida, and especially Miami. Never mind the Cubans. I was about to say the humans. Never mind the humans, just mind the Cubans. Well, never mind the Cubans, mind the humans in Miami. They really have a good sense of intelligence, those people. This is what they did. You know, in 1993 they built a big skyscraper. It was very big. It's 21 floors high. For that time it was very high. High in width, not high on drugs by any means, no. And mostly elderly and students rented it, the flats in it. On the 21st floor, a couple of students were spending a night with each other. 3 guys to be specific. Now don't think what you're thinking, because it's not what you're thinking. Because it's impossible to guess what they actually came up with. In the apartment they found 100 pounds of lead, which is, I'm very surprised, what was it doing there? 100 pounds of lead in an apartment. And a long rope. They attached one end of the rope to a radiator and the other to the 100 pounds of lead. Unfortunately, the radiator happened to be located near a window of the 21st floor, and underneath there was a sewer. They opened up the window, and was the question, will it make a hole in the sewer if we drop it? How bored do you have to be to ask yourself that question? If we drop 100 pounds of lead from a 21st floor, will it make a hole in the sewer? No shit, it wouldn't. So, what apparently these guys done was very clever. They threw out the weight. First time they missed. The rope appeared to be too short. It sort of swung and disappeared in the window of the first floor. Of course, everybody by now would be very, very freaked out and say, oh good lord, now what are we going to do? We threw it in somebody's window. Oh no, not these guys. They were from Miami, so that's what they did. They calculated whose window it was, went downstairs, walked into the apartment. In 1993, all the doors in Miami were open. They walk in and see 3 guys in a position which I shall now demonstrate. Like this. And a ghost would be a pink piglet comparison to them, because they were so pale. Can you imagine? You sit and watch TV, and there's 100 pounds of lead just swinging through your window. I'm sitting right near the window. There's a window there. Now 100 pounds of lead is flying into my window. Frankly, it was impossible because I'm on the top floor of my house, which will not happen. Right. So they walked in and said, have you seen 100 pounds of lead flying by any chance? Very interesting question. Have you seen 100 pounds of lead flying by through a window by any chance? One of them answered, look in the fridge. Making a hole through a kitchen door, through the fridge door, on the shelf, it was a very compact 100 pounds of lead, sits 100 pounds of lead. Surprisingly. They take the weight and walk up the stairs. They find a longer rope. And they continue the experiment for next 5 times. And in this house, because it was a modern house, in the front there was a concierge sitting, which is very unusual for Miami. There was a concierge. On the 5th time, the concierge says, I will permit no further lead up the stairs. She cannot possibly understand it's the same 100 pounds of lead. She thinks they're bringing you. They already have half a cube. 500 pounds of lead up there. I wonder why they need so many of them. On the 6th time they succeeded. Although they did not, because it's not the 100 pounds of lead that made a hole in the sewer. It was the radiator that flew after it and organized a massive flood in the house. Right, so this is the ending one. This is what personally I believe is very interesting. George Bush goes to Iraq to see how the locals are living very well, although they failed to show him one little thing. While George Bush was looking through the binocular, he accidentally forgot to take the caps off. Now, of course, being intelligent people, the Americans just drew nice fields with corn on them. So President Bush returned back to the White House and said, "I saw corn growing in Afghanistan." And everybody was so happy. And thank you very much.